Hello everyone, welcome to Indian Polity Mastery. My name is Gautaman Mohan, and in this video I'm going to discuss about the joint session of the Parliament. So you might have heard about the parliamentary sessions, the different sessions of the Parliament. Okay, usually we have three important sessions, but there might be some confusion regarding the joint session of the Parliament. You might have some confusion regarding this. What is this joint session of the Parliament and all? So let us try to understand about the joint session of the Parliament in this video. So before moving further, okay, you need to understand about the three important sessions in a particular year. Okay, what are the important sessions? When you talk about the Parliament, you know that the Parliament consists of the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and the President. Okay, now what are the three important sessions in a year? One is the budget session. Okay, the budget session, it actually usually happens during the time like February to May, that particular time period. And what is happening during that budget session? The members discuss various provisions of the budget and matters concerning taxation. After the finance minister presents the budget, we know that we have something called as annual financial statement or budget. The finance minister presents it every year. Okay, after that we will be having this particular session, or during that that session only the budget is actually presented. The session starts with the president's address to both the houses. Okay, that is regarding the budget session. And then we have monsoon session, and usually the time period is July to September. This session is after the break of 2 months after the budget session, and matters of public interest are discussed in this session. So basically that is the importance of Parliament, right? The Parliament is there to discuss about our problems. If you want to legislate something, okay, if you want to proceed with the legislation, the Parliament will do that. Then we have the winter session, and usually it happens like during the time November to December, and it is considered to be the shortest of all the three other sessions. Okay, so these are the important sessions, three important sessions we have in a particular year. Now let us understand about what do you mean by the joint session of the Parliament. So three sessions are there, and now we have something called as joint session. What is it? Article 108 of the Constitution discuss about the joint session of the Parliament. Article 108. To break any deadlock between the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, the Constitution of India provides for the joint sitting. So what do you mean by this deadlock? How is this deadlock happening? Like, you know, the legislation process, how it is actually happening. Okay, the bill will be presented in a particular house, either in the Lok Sabha or in the Rajya Sabha. And in the Lok Sabha, it need to the members need to pass the bill. Then it will be moving towards the Rajya Sabha. In the Rajya Sabha also they need to pass the bill. Then it will actually go for the assent of the president. Once the president gave the assent, it will become an act. So that is a process, the normal process that we follow in a legislation, okay, or in a lawmaking process. But what happens if one particular house accepted one bill and they actually passed it to the other house, and the other house rejects it? What will happen? Then there comes the deadlock. Okay, that is what is known as the deadlock. The president calls for the joint sitting of the Parliament. So who calls for the joint sitting? Okay, the president calls for the joint sitting. The session is presided over by the speaker, because it's a meeting which actually involves the members of both the houses, the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha. And we have a person who presides over the meetings of Lok Sabha, that is the speaker, and we have one person who presides over the meetings of the Rajya Sabha, that is the vice president, okay, the chairman. But now both the members are present, and who is actually going to preside over this meeting? It is the speaker who presides over such a meeting, and in his or her absence, the deputy speaker of the Lok Sabha will preside over the meeting. And when can we call the joint sitting? Okay, what instances we can actually call the joint sitting? The joint session of the Parliament can be called when other house rejects the bill. So I already told you about how the other house is actually rejecting the bill. Then another one is if the house disagree on the amendments made to the bill. Okay, so when a house is actually making certain amendments and the other house is actually rejecting that. Then if 6 months have passed since the passing of the bill by one house and the bill has been received by the other house without it being passed. Okay, very important. Okay, in Lok Sabha one particular bill is actually passed and it will be moving to the Rajya Sabha, and there for more than 6 months it is actually sitting there, it is actually lying there. there is no developments happening and they are not actually passing it. During that time period also a deadlock will occur. So these are the important instances in which a deadlock occurs. When a deadlock occurs, in order to resolve that deadlock, the president calls for a joint sitting. The president cannot summon a joint sitting if the bill was not passed because of the dissolution of the Lok Sabha. So we know about the dissolution. After 5 years, after the tenure of the Lok Sabha will be dissolved. And on the other, in another way, the president can also dissolve the Lok Sabha based on the recommendation of the Council of Ministers. So when the Lok Sabha is dissolved, the president cannot call for the joint sitting because Lok Sabha is not there. In the joint sitting, we need to have the members of both the houses. So two important types of bills are not actually included in this joint sitting. Okay, they are exempted from this. They are the money bills and the constitutional amendment bills are actually exceptions to the joint session or the joint sitting of the Parliament. Okay, so it cannot be considered. The ordinary bills are actually coming into this particular aspect. During an ordinary bill only, we are actually calling for a joint sitting of the Parliament. Now, when we are actually calling for a joint sitting, what is the minimum number of the members should be present in that particular session, that particular joint sitting? Okay, that is known as the quorum. Okay, the quorum to constitute a joint sitting is 1/10 of the total number of members of the two houses. Okay, so 1/10 of the total number of members of the two houses. Okay, when you are adding the members of Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, the 1/10 of that will actually constitute the quorum for the session. Then in our history, in our legislative history, what are the important instances in which we actually called for the joint sitting? Okay, when the president calls for a joint sitting, three important instances we can actually list down here. One is during the Dowry Prohibition Bill of 1960, we have called for a joint sitting. Then the Banking Service Commission Repeal Bill of 1977, we have called for a joint sitting. And then the Prevention of Terrorism Bill, that is 2002, we have called for a joint sitting. These are the three important instances in which we have actually called for a joint sitting. So these are the important aspects regarding the joint sitting. I hope you got an understanding regarding joint sitting. So I already told you about the different sessions in a year, and joint sitting is another kind of a feature of the Parliament. And during a joint sitting, it actually includes the members of both the houses, the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha. So if the video was useful, please do subscribe to our channel and also enable the bell icon so that you will get the notification regarding the upcoming videos. And please share it with your friends who are actually preparing for civil services examinations and other competitive examinations. It will be helpful for them. And please like our video and share it with your friends. Hope you have understood the session. Hope it was useful for you. Thank you.